But going to Thailand, I was like, you know what? Don't need to be angry. Look at these people smiling, and they've got nothing, and they're smiling.
Well, when you mentioned earlier about finding meditation, and I know from reading about you and stuff that you'd spent time in Thailand, and I feel that too in my house. I mean, my second son was born there. My little boy was 8 months old when we lived there for a year, so he spent his first a year of his first 2 years there. Big impact on us, that whole Buddhist philosophy of you're suffering from the word go. That is what it is. This thing's difficult. Being a human is beautiful because it hurts in a sense. It's all fleeting. It all dissipates. It all leaves. Everything passes. And I definitely took that from, a combination of their, like you say, the smiling faces, the steady pace. There's just a feeling, there's an energy, and I definitely took that away from there. So I wonder, did you feel like that? Did you get that from it? Did you get that kind of like?
100%, man. Like, just I was, obviously the anxiety causes just the want and need for everything to happen now. That's the part of the anxiety, bringing it all here, and then you jumping a million miles forward again. It's just you like leapfrogging the current moment, constantly hopping over the now, to the next situation, whatever that might be. So it definitely and I was introduced to, at the time I was like sampling, because I tapped into kind of Eastern instrumentation back then, and I was sampling little Buddhist quotes and stuff, and that led me on to Alan Watts, who...
Oh, powerful Uncle Alan. He's in the studio with us now on the back of this bookshelf.
Yeah, he... Alan Watts, man, honestly, I kind of discovered him weirdly kind of through John Cage, Stockhausen, the avant-garde music, which then led into kind of chants and Buddhism and stuff like that. But I was already kind of back in 2008, 2009, curious of Eastern instrumentation and ethnic instruments and scales and stuff, and sampling little Buddhist quotes and stuff like that. And, I was introduced, I was going to go off into the jungle and become a monk at one point. I was things were that dark. I considered just going for 6 months.
Yeah.
My mate said, "Are you sure?" Because it was like, I looked into it, and it's like, you're up at 4 a.m. eating a bowl of rice, and it's not a game.
No, it's real deal.
Really close to considering. You work all day, and it's there, and I was really close to considering that journey. So, but I looked into it more, and then I was introduced to the Zen philosophy, and then Alan Watts. So, I'm not Buddhist, but that, without kind of Buddhism and being aware of it, and Alan Watts, wow. And the way he broke it down, because I find Buddhism to be riddles.
Yeah.
A lot of it's riddles.
Yeah.
And, no one tells you what it actually means, but actually, if you consider it, it unravels itself. But Alan Watts helped kickstart that for me, at the right time, because I didn't want to have to unravel it all. I didn't go to like official kind of meetings and enter it. Capacity, so it was a shortcut into it.
Well, for people listening, watching, Alan Watts was a famous academic, a British academic who he was over in California, wasn't he? And he was famous for bringing, I guess, the Eastern philosophy of Buddhism to the West, I guess, in an academic sense. Was it in the 60s, Aidan? I think it was late 60s, wasn't he? Into the 70s and stuff. But I found his stuff. I had a friend who was just a reader. He'd read everything. I was never a reader. Someone sent me a link to him. I think it was that guy, and he said, "Oh, check this out." And it was an Alan Watts clip on YouTube, probably about the same time, 2009, something like that. And it was clipped lovely, nice montage, like a 5-minute clip, just with beautiful landscapes and vistas, and this guy's croaky voice, and he was just saying some stuff that was dead simple, in the right order, that was so profound, that was like, what the fuck? That was, and it's the right thing at the right time often, isn't it? But it's interesting because Alan Watts, he struggled with alcoholism, didn't he? Yeah,
well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, he struggled. He had a difficult time with it, but no, we used to listen to him at night as well when my wife was pregnant. we'd sort of learned some stuff about in utero and babies can hear everything. And at night with one of them, we would listen to Alan Watts like last thing at night, just as we were going off. And I always told myself, I think it was number 2, that one. He's got Alan Watts energy going straight into his frontal cortex. That was my little imagination of that. I used to love listening to him going to sleep.
I get a lot of questions about, I mean, I'm open on social media about my mental health and stuff. And sometimes I open a can of worms because, you know, I've had people hitting me up about all sorts of dark stuff. And I'm like, well, I'm not qualified here. But, you know, what I can say is maybe go and check out some Alan Watts or ask for some official help. You know, but yeah, some really dark stuff has approached me from being open. But I'll always, you know, Alan Watts, man, honestly, I think without what I learned through him, things would be quite different right now.